Tonight, Belizeans say they're feeling squeezed from every direction as electricity bills climb and frustration grows. The Prime Minister is stepping in and demanding answers. But will relief come soon enough? Also, the threat of a nationwide bus strike isn't off the road just yet. Operators are holding off on drastic action while they wait for Cabinet to decide whether critical fuel subsidies will continue. And questions are still mounting over the failed BTL SpeedNet merger. Two Social Security Board directors, two very different votes, one acquisition that was worth millions. So why wasn't there a united position? Plus, public officers are challenging government's consultation process on the Revenue Authority bill, arguing their voices were heard but not heeded. And after months out of the spotlight, Orange Walk South Representative José is back in the National Assembly. From rising costs and political questions to decisions that could affect thousands of Belizeans, the stories shaping your country are ahead. News 5 starts now.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
Win the Encore Bundle. 2 Skydeck tickets, $500 DigiCash, a night stay at Grand Resort plus official Marshall Montano merch. Get your tickets for only $5 on the DigiWallet Marketplace games. And experience Marshall Montano the Encore way.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Greater Belize Media. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Greater Belize Media.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, August 21st. I'm Jamie Rock. Belizeans are already struggling with the high cost of living, and now many say rising electricity bills are adding to the pressure. Prime Minister John Briceño has directed Public Utilities Minister Michelle Shabat to meet with BEL and the Public Utilities Commission. He also wants both agencies to face the public and explain what is causing the reported strikes. Here's what the Prime Minister told us.
It's certainly something that we, certainly myself as a citizen and more importantly as a Prime Minister, I'm very concerned. I've already spoken to Minister Shabat. I've asked him to meet with the Executive Chairman, Ambassador Young, and the people of BL and PUC, and to be able to meet with the media hopefully early next week by Monday, Tuesday to discuss that. And so it is something that we are taking a look at right now.
And a part of the challenge that comes with this is the conversation about affordability. It's a huge issue for a lot of Belizeans, the cost of living. How do you feel at this point in time about Belize's concern regarding the cost of living?
Well, of course, again, you ask us a very leading question. Of course, I'm very concerned about affordability. Everybody is very, very concerned. And I need to repeat to you, I've told you over and over, most of these things we have no control. We don't have control for the price of fuel. We don't have control for the price of goods that are being imported in the country. We have not been raising taxes. Now, we could control tax, but short of that, we can't. The truth of the matter is that we are trying to do everything that we possibly can to be able to assist.
Belizeans will soon pay more for electricity after the Public Utilities Commission approved a 1.5-cent cost of power adjustment. Prime Minister John Briceño says government tried to hold off another increase, but accepts that this charge is justified. He now points to a recently declared energy emergency as part of a plan to cut BEL's annual expenses by millions.
They have a shortage of energy during the prime time, the prime hours. And so BL has been buying sometimes as much as $1 US a kilowatt. And we're only selling it for 42 cents, 44 cents. Belize, BEL has been selling energy to the public at a loss, to less than what they're buying it. We don't even talk about the transmission and the operations and all of that. It is a crisis, and we as a government was holding back BL from raising these prices. But then it comes to the time when it has to happen, and it happened unfortunately. But the good news is now that we met with Ambassador Young, along with two of his young engineers. We met with the Ministry of Energy and myself on Tuesday, and he said they're at the point now of being able, under the emergency declaration that we did several months ago, that they believe that they could get companies to be able to come online with energy, with their electricity. And we're hoping that we could probably get it within 6 months, and hopefully within 1 year, we'll be able to get about 4 or 5 companies that are already here to be able to start to produce more energy. And they believe that they could be able to do that at a savings of about $28 million in the first year for BEL. So we have been working on it. We've been addressing, but it's not like you run a water line in a house, from one room to the next. It's take time.
As Belize pushes for greater energy security, 2 major renewable energy projects remain stuck in the pipeline. Prime Minister John Briceño says funding for the multi-million-dollar Saudi solar project has already been approved, but the process is taking years. A separate energy storage project also hit an unusual roadblock, a squatter occupying the project site.
The first thing we did before you even asked me is trying to get a loan from the Saudis. Once they did approve it immediately, it goes through a very long process with them. They're a huge country with many other issues that they're dealing with. So we are at the point now of starting to bid to get the people that are interested that will be prepared to do this solar project. We have a $100 million loan from the World Bank where we want to do, I think it's a 40 megawatt of battery storage areas of the 40 megawatts. And why was the delay? The delay was because there was this person who was squatting on the land owned by BEL, saying that in San Pedro, and where he was supposedly protecting the iguanas. Well, no, he delayed for 2 years. And it was a scam, and I met with the official from the World Bank on Wednesday and Thursday, and I told him, when nameless bureaucrats in Washington just hold back a project because of something, when this person was squatting, he was there illegal. It's not like that's the only sanctuary for the iguanas. You keep us back, we could have already had that project going. That would allow us to be able to buy 40 megawatts of energy from CFE in Mexico, like at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning, with is only 3 or 4 cents.
For Belizeans earning minimum wage, 1 hour's pay may barely cover a gallon of gas. That comparison from Union Senator Glenfield Dennison has renewed calls to raise the minimum wage from $5 to $6 an hour. Today we asked Prime Minister John Briceño what's holding up the increase. Here's how he responded.
For instance, okay, we raised the minimum wage, and I know Senator Dennison was making a big deal about it. I think I'm going to be kind to him. I don't think he really understands the entire process, because the minute if we were to go say $10 or $20, immediately the private sector says we can't afford that, and then we are creating even bigger problems. Not only unemployment, businesses slowing down, but even inflation. So there are many aspects of different areas that you have to look at as a government, as a responsible government. So what we have said that we want to raise it to another dollar, but we promised the chamber that we will sit down with them and have some more real discussions as to when would be the best time to be able to raise it. I would want to do it from yesterday, but something that is a process.
Government says it is working to make life more affordable, but many Belizeans say their pockets tell a different story. Prime Minister Briceño points to several projects his administration has completed and others still in the pipeline. But with household expenses continuing to strain family budgets, the question remains, are those measures making a real difference?
We have increased the threshold of exemptions from income tax. That puts more money in your pocket. We're expanding national health insurance. That puts more money in your pocket. We've been giving the free education. I think most, if not all, government high schools now are totally free. Books, even uniforms when necessary. That puts more money in your pocket. So we've been looking in areas where we can do something. We do, but the importation and the goods that we import into this country, we do not have a cost of it.
And yet many Belizeans are saying that in the face of all that you are doing, it's not yet enough.
And I fully understand, but tell me what you want me to do.
You are talking about stores owned by the government.
Yes, we are working on the idea of trying to come up with community stores. I'm glad you reminded me, because right now we are trying to put the project together. You see, you don't want to do something then that 2 years later, 3 years later, it becomes a drain on government finances. So we want to do it in such a way where probably we just put like a 5% markup on these things. I am not in that grocery business, so we're trying to find the right partners. We're not there, so please don't run around and say we don't, but be able to find the right partners where maybe we can put maybe 100 products, the basic products that people then can buy.
After the break, a major change in government's bus company plan. Instead of handing over $20 million in public assets, Cabinet now wants to lease the country's bus terminals. So what changed and what does it mean for taxpayers? Stay with us.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thyself in times of trouble?" Trouble is a word we like to avoid and an experience we want to escape. But how we respond to trouble will make us bitter or it'll make us better. It can make us question God or cause us to go in quest of God. If we yield to our higher nature, then surely we will find the goodness of God in our trouble. But if we yield to our lower nature, we will embrace self-pity, asking, "Why me, God?" Arthur Ashe of Virginia chose to follow the higher path when he contracted AIDS through a blood transfusion during heart surgery. The way he dealt with AIDS, the disease that took his life, inspired and encouraged many. Ashe could have become embittered, but he maintained a graceful attitude. He explained, "If I ask why me about my troubles, I would have to ask why me about my blessings. Why am I winning Wimbledon? Why am I marrying a beautiful, gifted woman and having a wonderful child?" Ashe's attitude rebukes those of us who often grumble, "Why me? Why is God allowing this to happen?" Instead of "why me," maybe we should ask, "Why not me?" Maybe we need to sing the old song, "Are you ever burdened with a load of care? Does a cross seem heavy you're called to bear? Count your many blessings, every doubt will fly, and you will be singing as the days go by." Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
contestants are left. This Tuesday, they will take the stage one final time for the KTV Season 8 Grand Finale. Who will be named this year's KTV champion? This is your last chance to vote your favorite to the finish line. To keep your favorite KTV star in the competition, you have to vote. Text the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's assigned voting number, and send it to 585. Remember, each contestant has a new assigned voting number for this week. Here are this week's contestants.
When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours. I felt born again the moment that mercy was. If I haven't seen you for a year or more, I'll think about you and I'll say I miss you.
You can also support your favorite by sending credit directly to their assigned smartphone number. Cast your vote by Sunday at midnight and tune in on Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the KTV Season 8 Grand Finale.
There have been a lot of questions about what the proposed broadcasting bill could mean for online content creators. So, here are answers to some of the most frequently asked questions. You create content online. You post videos, go live, work with brands, and maybe even get paid for advertising or sponsorships. But does getting paid for your content mean you now need a broadcasting license? The short answer is not automatically. There are specific requirements that determine whether you're considered a national online broadcaster under the proposed law. First, do you fall under the definition? You may be considered a national online broadcaster if all of these apply. 1. You control the broadcast. 2. You broadcast exclusively online. 3. Your broadcasts are mainly directed to Belize. And 4. Your advertising or sponsorship revenue comes predominantly from Belizean citizens. If all 4 apply, you may fall within the national online broadcaster category. So, if all 4 apply to me, does that mean I need a license? Not necessarily. If you fall within the category, the proposed framework provides for exemptions where the regulations allow. So, you may still qualify for an exemption. What determines an exemption? When developing exemption rules, the BBA will consider how much you earn or benefit, including revenue or other business benefits from your broadcasts. They will also consider how often you broadcast, including how frequently and how many broadcasts you make. Another factor is how big your audience is, based on your average or highest audience size. And they'll consider who can watch, including whether your broadcasts are open to the public in Belize or limited to a particular group. Other relevant public interest factors may also be considered. So here's the bottom line. Getting paid to create content does not automatically mean you need a license.
The buses will keep running for now, but a nationwide strike remains on the table. The Belize Bus Association has agreed to wait until Cabinet meets on Thursday, August 27th, to consider extending the diesel subsidy. President Philip Jones says convincing operators to hold off was difficult, especially as soaring fuel costs continue to squeeze the industry.
We sent out 3 letters before and we haven't gotten any response from the Department of Transport or the Minister until yesterday. We sent a letter the 15th of July. We sent a letter, I believe it was the 4th, and then we sent a 3rd letter around the 16th, asking for a sit down to meet and let's discuss the extension of the subsidy, because as you all are aware, the crisis have not ceased. It picked up actually, and it's a real challenge for the bus operators, and we have been asking about a month and a half for a meeting with the Minister of Transport to sit down to see what we can come up with to assist the bus operators that are not a part of the NBC, of course. I had received a letter yesterday from the CEO stating that the Minister will meet with Cabinet and the PM I believe it's on the 27th, and they will discuss how they can assist the bus operator in terms of the extension of the subsidy that was ended on the end of July. But for the time being right now, the members say here what we can hold up until cabinet meet next week, and after cabinet meeting we need to see some positive results from that meeting. If not, they won't be able to run the following day, and that's the position of the members' majority.
The threat of a bus strike is not only about fuel subsidies. Association President Philip Jones says operators are also angry over comments made by Chief Executive Officer Chester Williams, which they viewed as dismissive and disrespectful. Jones says he's trying to keep members calm, but warns that more insensitive remarks could push tensions even higher.
I have been in dialogue with the members, and took some convincing to do, because it had been a month and time has passed, a month and a half basically, and they're taking a lick. And I just want to appeal to the general public, man. This is the last alternative from the bus operators. These are God-fearing, hard-working, honest Belizeans working, and all they want to do is just to provide for their family. And they take great offense with the interview yesterday where the representative from the government was laughing, and they find that very insulting, very distasteful, and they vent to me throughout yesterday and today, and now they want the BBA now to align themselves with the unions. This has been something that they have never brought up strongly before, but now this is the position they want to go in. And like I said, this is a serious matter. I generally don't like for us to reach this point here. It's unfortunate we're in this quagmire here, but it could have been avoided. We have been reaching out to the minister 3 letters prior to this one that was yesterday, for a meeting, for a sit down, something.
The Bus Association wants its fuel subsidy back, and Cabinet is preparing to discuss the request. But Prime Minister John Briceño says operators should make their case without frightening commuters with the threat of a strike. Here's how he put it.
This is a matter for the Cabinet. The last time they came and they made a compelling case, and we accepted to give them a subsidy. But you can't govern by fear. Come and make a case. Now they're saying that they sent it about a month ago. Probably they did. But the point is now that he has not gone to Cabinet. And we're going to take a look at it. If we can, we will give them. And if we can't, we'll explain to them, I'm sorry, we can't do it at this moment. And it's up to them if they want to strike. Again, like I tell everybody, it is your right guaranteed under the Constitution.
Government is changing how it will invest in the newly formed National Bus Company. Instead of transferring bus terminals valued at $20 million, Cabinet will lease those public assets to the company. Government will now build its stake by purchasing new buses over the next 2 years. Transport Minister Dr. Louis Zabanez says the bigger goal is to replace NBC's entire fleet with electric buses by the end of 2027.
Note that the government had the option to nationalize the sector. But what would that have meant? It would have meant that government would have had to find the money to compensate the operators for their businesses. The independent auditors who valued the 17 operators now that started out the NBC, we have 1 more that is coming in, and 4 more who are waiting in line. That added up to a little over $19 million. Extrapolating from there, with the remaining operators, you would be talking about a government requirement of over $25 million to have taken out all the operators in a nationalization. But instead, what we did was to have all the operators agree who joined the National Bus Company to be a part of a PPP. You have not heard anybody come in the media who are members of the NBC to say that their hands were twisted to be a member of the NBC.
Next on NBC's agenda is a new electronic system for tickets and payments. 2 electric buses helped test the road. Now Belize City wants 4 more. The City Council is inviting bids to expand its e-ride service after its pilot program showed strong public demand for cleaner transportation. E-mobility consultant Neil Hall says commuters are not only using the service, but they also appreciate what it offers.
We have our buses consistently being filled, and at some points of the day when it's rush hour, actually overfilled where people are standing. Thank goodness we have the proper equipment on board to allow for that. So what we want to do is we want to expand on our current project because we only do a very small circle of the city, and we'd like to be able to expand to other areas as well and offer them the opportunity of choosing e-ride or staying with whosoever they currently use. We believe that this expansion will benefit the city and its residents because of the noiseless, pollutionless, no lot of soot, and the comfort that you get on board an e-ride bus. We didn't know that when we stepped in that we'd be helping so many people to get through their day and make their lives that much easier. And it's even more heartwarming because our buses are low floor buses, meaning there's only one step up and you're inside the bus. So older passengers or even passengers who are differently abled, and for those who actually use wheelchairs or walking aids, can easily get into the bus. With these new buses, obviously we won't just put them on the same route. We're looking at reversing this route, first of all, when we get more buses, and we're also looking at expansion into other routes that we believe would allow for people in those areas to benefit from e-ride. Again, we are a choice. We're not trying to take anybody's business, but we will make it possible for others to choose us if they so desire.
Over 380,000 passengers rode the e-buses in their first 2 years of service. The council is planning to purchase the 4 new buses using funds from its municipal bond. 2 directors representing the same institution, SSB, but 2 opposing votes on 1 major acquisition. That split has left the public wondering whether the Social Security Board had a clear position on BTL's purchase of SpeedNet. Today, after presenting an overview of the fund's finances, investments, and priorities, CEO Jerome Palmer faced questions about what instructions SSB gave its representatives.
One of the questions in the public is what consideration went into board members' decision on the vote for BTL SpeedNet acquisition?
Well, I can't really comment in the extent of what went into that because that was at the BTL board, and I think it's better placed with the BTL board.
The Social Security Board take a position, your members, your board directors had a vote?
No, we did not have a vote per se because that is a BTL decision. And again, I think that at this point, the cabinet as the government, as the main decision maker, have taken a position with respect to that. So I think that questions with respect to that should really be tabled to cabinet and BTL at this point.
But do board members who represent SSB report back to the board?
Well, obviously they do because it is a substantial investment for SSB. And our responsibility is to monitor the investment.
Did they give a reason for their vote?
You are pressing on one particular topic, and I can understand that. But I really do think it needs to be placed appropriately, which is with respect to the BTL board and the decision that the government has made.
3 Social Security Board members sit on the board of directors for BTL. While Arturo Lizarraga voted in favor of the SpeedNet purchase, Alan Pollard and Anissa Perdomo voted against it. Still ahead, Taiwan is offering Belize access to a $200 million loan, but there's no specific project attached. So where will the money go and how will it be spent? We'll take a closer look at what's behind the deal.
Every dream begins with an opportunity, and every opportunity has the power to change a life. This year, Belize Bank proudly welcomes 16 outstanding new scholars during its 14th annual Scholarship Awards ceremony, recognizing young Belizeans whose academic excellence, leadership, and determination inspire us all.
When I look around the room today, I see future entrepreneurs who will build businesses. I see future doctors who will heal families. I see engineers who will design infrastructure, teachers which will inspire the next generation.
For Belize Bank, a scholarship is more than financial assistance. It's a commitment to each student's future through guidance, encouragement, and mentorship from members of our management team. Today, we celebrate 16 new scholars, more than 250 lives transformed, one shared future. Because when we empower our youth, we empower our nation.
We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready, yeah, we're ready, yeah, we're ready, 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 yeah, we're ready, we're ready, we're ready, we're ready.
Her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. RF&G Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place.
It's time for the 37th Annual CBU Media Awards. And once again, Greater Belize Media is regionally recognized with exceptional awards and special mentions. Best Social Media Content Creator Award, Benita Keme Palacio. Best Videographer Award, Rick Romero. Child Rights Champion, Children Who Inspire. Belize's Children's Parliament debates adolescent health access. Reporter, Brittany Gordon. And videographer, George Tillett. Child Rights Champion, Investigative Reporting Story. Special ed students locked out of school for 2 days straight. Reporters, Paul Lopez and Brittany Gordon. Videographer, George Tillett. Best Comedy Item, Grinch Steals Christmas at GBM. Rick Romero, Sheena Smith, and Nisa Sanchez. Special mentions include Best Advertisement, Television, OIE 17th Anniversary, Sheena Smith. Best Production on Land Degradation Neutrality, Boston Village Fights Back Against Illegal Logging. Reporter, Paul Lopez. Videographer, Dennis Tucker and Cleon Barrow. Best News Story, TV. Captain and passenger save flight from hijacker. Reporter, Marian Ali. Videographer, Darrell Miguel. Graphics, Sheena Smith. Greater Belize Media, growing together.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world. Mexican, Caribbean, the vacation capital.
Connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the wins, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up. Not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares. People who listen. People who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
connected through every chapter.
SMART, bringing people together.
Was the consultation over the Revenue Authority bill meaningful or merely a box-ticking exercise? The PSU says government invited workers to participate, then advanced the legislation without ensuring their concerns reached the review committee. The union also questions whether the transition process is ready, but Prime Minister John Briceño is pushing back, arguing that the PSU did not meet its responsibilities within the required time frame.
I have great respect for the Public Service Union as a whole, but we need to understand something. We need to make something very clear. Government sets policy. The union look after its membership. And when I go in the House, I will be able to spell out exactly what all we have done to keep the unions in place. The president of the union was a part of the team that reviewed this every step of the way, all the way into June and July. And then I have it on record that they were asked to submit what changes they want to do. They put in none. And they did not. Wait, let me finish, please. Wait, before you jump. I'm talking about in June. And they should have put in something by July. And they did not, about mid-July. And then we extended it some more, and they still did not put anything to the committee that was working on it. The chamber did, and the only changes the chamber was recommending was the change to ensure that the employees at the tax service right now are going to be protected. That those that stay in government can stay in the government, and those that leave and go to work at the semi-autonomous revenue authority at SARA will be able to have the same. They will be able to work under the same conditions as they were working when they were under government. And we made the necessary amendments in the legislation to ensure that can happen. I am told now that they did, but they did not go to the House Committee. It is their responsibility, once it goes to House Committee, for them to show up and to say, these are my concerns. And they never did. We still hope we can work with them. We want to work with them.
PM Briceño is adamant that the bill must proceed through the National Assembly to realize the necessary efficiencies. Belizeans called for constitutional reform, but how many of their recommendations survived the review process? The People's Constitution Commission submitted 167 proposals, yet only 53 remain after scrutiny by external experts and the Attorney General's ministry. With the long-delayed report now before the National Assembly, government says it will educate the public before asking Belizeans to vote in a referendum.
But, Mr. Speaker, before such a resolution is put before the National Assembly, it seems sensible that the government engages in a public awareness campaign on these recommendations of the PPC, of the PCC. Again, all the recommendations cannot be taken on board. However, this consultation process will allow the public a mechanism to review and analyze recommendations, to understand government's rationale and approach on the recommendations, and thus allow government to receive further feedback from the public. We anticipate this to take 6 to 8 months. I encourage all Belizeans to assess and review the PCC report with its recommendations, and over the next months, as government engages in awareness campaign, I encourage all Belizeans to participate in a sober and responsible manner.
What exactly will Belize get from a $200 million loan? Taiwan is making the money available for general financing with no specific project attached. The Briceño administration can access $40 million this year, and the Prime Minister says it will fund capital investments. The opposition, however, wants to know how much will go towards securing Belize's energy future.
And so the obvious question is, what portion of this US $100 million will be used for energy security, particularly at a time such as this, when every Belizean household is struggling with the cost of electricity.
This is over 5 years, and yes, we're going to use by the end of this year probably about 40 million. But if she would have only listened, this is what I said. I said, while there is no restrictions on how the funds are to be allocated, it's a loan from government to government, within our annual budgets, he said the government, our government, so we are giving a priority to meet local counterpart requirements to other capital investment programs funded by our multilateral development partners. And I said this in simple language. It means that, for instance, especially in capital spending, in Capital 3, where we do these large, like for instance, the highways that you're seeing being built right at the highway, the upgrade.
The loan term is for 20 years. Sugar production has fallen to a 35-year low, and José Mai says northern Belize cannot continue with business as usual. The former agriculture minister wants government and industry stakeholders to push diversification and give farmers more options. He is also taking aim at what he calls a monopoly within the industry.
And I will blame you, the media, for that too, because you only speak about monopoly of BTL, but you don't speak about the monopoly of the cane industry. Yes. By law, we are forced to be in a monopoly because I think it's Section 61 clearly states that the first 1.5 million tons of sugarcane goes to BSI. So you are obliged, you're obligated to sell to BSI. No, that section is unconstitutional, and you all know it. But you, the media, people only speak about BTL and SMART. You forget the cane farmers, right? But that can be corrected easily. Okay, that can be amended easily, and maybe that will open the doors for people who want to invest in something else.
Mai argues that sugarcane's true value now lies in energy production, not sugar alone. After months away from the National Assembly, Orange Walk South Area Representative José Mai returned to his seat today. Mai underwent shoulder surgery and a knee replacement during his medical leave. He says he has not fully recovered, but he is well enough to represent his constituents and once again contribute to the work of the House.
It's been a while since I have been coming to the House meetings, but I feel a little strange. Nevertheless, it feels good to be back in Parliament, contributing to the discussions if needs be. Recovery is coming slowly, but it's coming. Frustrating at times, but nevertheless, it is improving slowly. Especially the last 2 weeks, I think I've seen some improvement. Probably like maybe a month ago, I was a little frustrated because I wasn't seeing it had plateaued. The improvement had plateaued, and I couldn't flex the knee well. I still can't flex the knee well, so I'm working on that. I was continuously having the knee inflamed and very painful. So I was in Merida last 3 weeks for that specifically, and I will travel again to see if the situation has improved. There's two things. Parliamentarian and cabinet are two different things. We are elected to be parliamentarians. Return to cabinet is the Prime Minister's decision, right? Of course, I miss my job, but that doesn't mean that I don't participate in the Ministry of Agriculture activities and to guide them in whatever I can. That's my forte, that's my strength, that's what my knowledge and experience is in, and so I contribute as much as I can to the ministry and to the farming sector.
But have you had a conversation with him, even a hypothetical one, about being reappointed?
We speak weekly. Prime Minister visited my farm, I think it was Thursday last week. We had a good sit-down chat. We talk about many things. and I'm sure he will want me back in his cabinet. But that's his decision, right? And I'm not in any hurry. I want to recover well yet, very well, and then we can decide that. But we have a very good relationship, Prime Minister, and we speak a lot.
While José recovered away from cabinet, questions remained about whether taxpayers continued covering his ministerial salary and vehicle. Mai confirms the government vehicle stayed with him, although he says he barely used it. He also admits his salary decreased, but stopped short of revealing the amount.
I only have one driver and a government-assigned vehicle. And if you go to the records, you will see that that vehicle is the least that uses fuel. I don't subscribe to that. If you see me in Orange or anywhere else, you will see me in my private vehicle. I do not subscribe to abuse of government vehicle. And if I don't have to use it to come to Bangpan, I don't. I don't think anybody has seen me more than 3 times in a government vehicle in Orange Town. And so I am conscious about that. I don't abuse it. And if I need my driver, I can have him to come home. We're going to Bangpan or Belize, like today. But very, very little we use that vehicle.
But by right, shouldn't it be returned?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure that what's the process. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
And you've not cared to find out?
No, I hadn't, because I do not use the vehicle much. But again, that is a decision, I think, from the Prime Minister.
During your leave, your salary, has it remained at the 90,000 or has it gone down to the 38?
It is the salary of the area representative.
Which is?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember details. I check it, but I don't. You know what it is. I'll answer that.
Up next, a market dispute is heading to court after Belize City Council shut down and locked out longtime vendor Aaron Castillo's businesses. His attorney fired back with legal action. Who's in the right and how far will this fight go? We'll find out.
When I install an AC system, I recommend Ream from Belize. Unlike inferior units that drive up electricity costs, restrict yard flow, and wear out quickly, Ream has the right solution for every space. With a wide range of options, I can choose the right Ream system to keep every customer cool, comfortable, and satisfied. Because at Belize, quality is saving.
Best for you and best for me. At Belize, it's the quality. Belize, quality and saving.
Only 3 contestants are left. This Tuesday, they will take the stage one final time for the KTV Season 8 Grand Finale. Who will be named this year's KTV champion? This is your last chance to vote your favorite to the finish line. To keep your favorite KTV star in the competition, you have to vote. Text the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's assigned voting number, and send it to 585. Remember, each contestant has a new assigned voting number for this week. Here are this week's contestants.
When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours. I felt born again the moment that mercy was. If I haven't seen you for a year or more, I'll think about you and I'll say I miss you.
You can also support your favorite by sending credit directly to their assigned smartphone number. Cast your vote by Sunday at midnight and tune in on Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the KTV Season 8 Grand Finale.
The way Belize uses electricity is changing. At home, families are using more devices, smarter appliances, and connected technology. Across the country, businesses are growing, industries are expanding, and communities are finding new ways to live, work, and move forward. Behind that progress, the energy system must continue to grow with Belize. At BL, modernizing the grid is part of preparing for what comes next. A grid with greater visibility, more accurate information, and better tools to manage energy as needs change. Through investment in digital systems, upgraded infrastructure, and improved monitoring, BEL is strengthening how electricity is managed and delivered across the country. Not just for today's needs, but for the future Belize is building. As new technology emerges, from solar generation to community energy systems, the grid must be ready to support them safely, reliably, and sustainably. This is the work of modernization, step by step, system by system, community by community, helping prepare Belize for a more connected, resilient, and sustainable energy future.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Get a smart start this new school year with deals you don't want to miss. Get a prepaid device starting at just $235. Choose from the TCL 503, Honor Play 10, Samsung A07, Samsung A17, and more. Every prepaid device purchase includes a free starter package with minutes, data, and SMS to get you started. Students and teachers, sign up for a Trio postpaid plan and enjoy 50% off for 3 months. Bundle your Trio plan with a postpaid data plan and get a free MiFi. Start the school year powered up with a postpaid power pack, including a device and your postpaid plan deposit, starting at $275. Plus, new students and teachers that sign up for their postpaid bundle get their first month free. Power up for back to school with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
Police are investigating a shooting that left a 31-year-old tour guide, John Villatoro, hospitalized after he reportedly came upon a group of masked men near a supermarket in northern San Pedro early Friday morning. According to reports, around 2:40 a.m., Villatoro heard a noise coming from the area of Palm Supermarket and went to check on the disturbance. While shining a flashlight behind the building, he reportedly encountered 4 men dressed in black clothing with their faces covered. Villatoro said he believed that the men were attempting to break into the supermarket before shots were fired, and he sustained 2 gunshot wounds to the abdomen. Villatoro had subsequently transported him to the San Pedro Polyclinic for treatment. A security guard from a nearby resort also reported hearing a vessel leaving the area around the time of the shooting. Information is that up to 19 expended shells were recovered from the scene and the investigation remains ongoing. The dispute between longtime Finnegan Market vendor Aaron Castillo and the Belize City Council is now headed for a legal challenge after the council enforced a stop order and locked Castillo out of his 2 businesses, June's Meat Shop and Supermarket, and his attorney Orson Elrington formally put the council on notice. Elrington is challenging the legality of the closure, arguing that the council's action has caused significant financial losses for his client. The attorney is now seeking to have the matter addressed as Castillo fights to regain access to his businesses.
Today we issued a pre-litigation letter to the Belize City Council as a result of the illegal actions of the Belize City Council. As you would know, Shane, sometime in this week, the City Council purportedly effected an ejection of my client. Now, every Belizean knows that for you to eject any tenant, you must first get an order of the court. That is fundamental. That's not legal gymnastics. That's not a complex concept whatsoever. The matter insofar as the stop order, which purports that my clients are not compliant with the liquor license their trade license is absolutely false. They have a order, a consent order. For those who might not know what is a consent order, that means it's when both parties agree to certain conditions. So whosoever went to represent the city council at the court agreed with our clients that if they made payments on a certain time schedule, that they would be provided with their license. They have complied with that and therefore fully compliant with the court's orders. Now, additionally, my clients have instructed me that they're not even sure who has the keys, and they have meat and they have other things which are perishable. So only when they get back their property, we would know what is the quantum of their losses, so that then the city council can address losses for which they would have already suffered.
The Belize City Council says June's Meat Shop is one of 39 stop orders that have been enforced for non-compliance of business owners. A basketball court, a ball, and a group of young men determined to make the best of what they have. Last night, a video showed these youths playing basketball at the St. John's Court with barely enough light to see the basket. They say they are not asking for much, just lights, so they can safely continue using the court at night. For some of these young men, the court is more than recreation. It's a positive outlet in an area where young people can easily find themselves on the wrong path. And for some, opportunities have recently become even more limited following the closure of the Leadership Intervention Unit's jobs program. Now, they are reaching out to the community, asking anyone who can help install or provide lighting for the court to step forward. Because for these young men, a little light could mean much more than being able to see the basketball hoop. It could help keep them focused, active, and on the right path. Belize is looking for new ways to finance development while protecting the environment and preserving indigenous heritage. At the second Green and Blue Finance Forum in Punta Gorda, stakeholders explored how sustainable funding could strengthen communities, agriculture, small businesses, and the orange economy. Belize also formalized its commitment to the 100% Alliance for Sustainable Ocean Management. News 5's Brittany Gordon has the story.
With their lands and forests,
Belize's greatest economic opportunities may lie in the very ecosystems and cultural traditions it has spent decades protecting. At the recent Green and Blue Finance Forum in Punta Gorda, the call for greater investment in the country's natural capital, indigenous heritage, and community-led development rang loud.
We spoke about rising seas, stronger storms, droughts, flooding, pollution, and the enormous cost that these challenges impose on a small country like Belize. Those realities have not gone, have not changed, but the way we think about them have changed. And I believe that change is what brings us here today. We have come to realize that our natural environment, in our unending efforts to protect and conserve it, holds much more than ecological value. It is also an asset that can generate capital, attract investment, strengthen livelihoods, and to help transform our economy.
Stakeholders urged government, investors, development partners, and communities to work together to turn promising ideas into viable projects with lasting economic benefits.
Sometimes transformations means looking at what we already have or what we already do well and finding a better way to finance, scale, and add value to it. A farmer does not necessarily need to become something completely different. Perhaps what they need is access to finance that allow them to adopt more resilient practices, increase productivity, reach new markets, and earn more from the land they already depend on.
Belize's reefs, forests, and mangroves do more than protect the environment. They also help drive the economy. Gregory Watson of the Inter-American Development Bank says protecting these natural assets is essential to economic growth, resilience, and long-term prosperity. He also points to Belize as a regional leader in sustainable development.
And Belize is a global leader, and I say this everywhere I go. When I speak at events in other parts of the world, I always say Belize is the best example I can give you, because it's demonstrating what a nature-positive development model can look like. Its extraordinary natural assets are only part of the story. What distinguishes Belize is the effort to connect those natural assets to economic growth and livelihoods, which we keep talking about here and which is fundamental, and to public policy. We're not just valuing these things for the sake of valuing them, we're valuing them linked to national priorities that then inform decisions.
By working together, Belize is showing how protecting nature can create jobs, investment, and economic opportunities. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Coming up, looking for a local business in Belize may soon be as easy as a quick search. One young entrepreneur is betting that a new digital platform can connect consumers and companies like never before. Can Find It 501 change the way Belize does business?
Learning. Connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the win, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up. Not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares. People who listen. People who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
Connected through every chapter.
Smart, bringing people together.
Her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. RF&G Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place.
Only 3 contestants are left. This Tuesday, they will take the stage one final time for the KTV Season 8 Grand Finale. Who will be named this year's KTV champion? This is your last chance to vote your favorite to the finish line. To keep your favorite KTV star in the competition, you have to vote. Text the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's assigned voting number, and send it to 585. Remember, each contestant has a new assigned voting number for this week. Here are this week's contestants.
When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours. I felt born again the moment that mercy was.
If I haven't seen you for a year or more, I'll think about you and I'll say I miss you.
You can also support your favorite by sending credit directly to their assigned smartphone number. Cast your vote by Sunday at midnight and tune in on Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the KTV Season 8 Grand Finale.
Insurance fact. Did you know Home Protector Insurance provides liability insurance that is for licensing? Public liability insurance for the hotels and guest houses protects the guests staying at the resort. tour operators insurance for on-site tourists, and marine passenger liability for passengers. You take care of your guests, we'll take care of you. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
Every dollar you save today is a seed for tomorrow. Let your dreams take root and grow. Belize Bank, your future, our commitment.
Bundle, 2 Skydeck tickets, $500 DigiCash, a night stay at Grand Resort plus official Marshall Montano merch. Get your tickets for only $5 on the DigiWallet Marketplace games and experience Marshall Montano the Encore way.
Become much easier. 25-year-old entrepreneur Briceño Palacio has launched Find It 501, a searchable digital directory that connects consumers with companies across Belize. Palacio says her own challenges as a business owner inspired her to create a platform that gives businesses greater visibility and wider reach.
I had a small business, my dessert counter business, and the issue that I had was trying to find like packaging, resources, different things that I needed for my business in itself. So that's where the idea came about with findit501.com, a centralized space where businesses can be found and searchers and shoppers can find what they need pretty much all in one place. Putting this together, I know building websites is a lot of money. So I had to learn it myself. I'm an entrepreneur, so learning skills, learning different things is just like what I do. And so this has been one of the hardest things that I've had to learn, code, learning how to build websites, learning how to do all of that. But it was definitely worth it. Worth the time and effort that it took. We have all businesses on the site, all categories, spanning across all districts, island, everything. If we don't have your category, you can definitely send us a message and we'll include that. When it came to sourcing the businesses, it's all from public information available. So Google, Facebook, all the different channels of finding public information for these businesses. Some of them were super hard to find. Even businesses that have been listing with us, searching their name by Facebook or anything in regards to that, it's super hard to find them. So we definitely had a struggle with that, but it was just searching, finding, spending months of just getting all these businesses online.
The platform is free for users to browse, and businesses of any size can list their services at no cost. Could a higher hotel tax make Belize a harder sell for visitors? Government is considering raising the accommodation tax from 9 to 12.5%, but the tourism industry is pushing back. Hoteliers warn that the increase could raise vacation costs, drive visitors to competing destinations, and further squeeze already narrow profit margins. Belize Hotel Association President Reynaldo Malik says the association has formally objected to the proposal.
I don't know if you've looked or shopped a plane ticket to Belize recently, but it's not cheap to come to Belize, okay? And so that part is out of our control, but what is in our control is how much the cost here in Belize is concerned. And it's not just about plane tickets. We've had almost a 30% increase in fuel prices. Fuel is necessary to the hotel industry. We have vans, we have shuttles, we have our properties that are off-grid that have to run on generators 24 hours a day. You realize that, for instance, any property that is running on generator 24 hours a day, their fuel costs went up. If they're burning, you could do the math, if you're burning 50 to 55 gallons of diesel per day, right, and your cost escalated by 30%, anybody with a first farm education can sit down and do that math and you will see the tremendous effect that is having on us. We're at a time where our margins are already compressed. How much the amount that we were able to claim as net revenue or net profit last year, that has been decimated, right? And here we are talking about adding a 3.5% tax. For instance, the BHA sent a letter to the Minister of Tourism on Monday last, stating exactly what I'm saying right now. But not only do we just say no to any new tax, we basically pointed out that the industry, because we are perceived as the strongest industry, right? A lot of time, they say they don't check on the people that are strong, but we also need assistance, right? We are susceptible to the exact same issues that face every other industry in this country, and we also need assistance as well.
Malik warned that increasing the cost of visiting Belize could drive travelers to competing destinations such as Cancun, Jamaica, and Costa Rica, where prices are often lower. For 15 students across Belize, the new school year will come with fewer financial worries. This morning, the Belize Hotel Association awarded educational grants through its Partners in Education program, helping families working in tourism and hospitality cover tuition, textbooks, uniforms, and transportation. News 5's Brittany Gordon attended the ceremony.
15 students are getting help to pursue their education. The Belize Hotel Association awarded the grants this morning as a part of its commitment to tourism, families, and Belize's future. BHA President Ronaldo Malik explains.
It's a combination of wanting to give back, first of all, but also as a membership association, you're always looking for value adds for your membership. And so making a scholarship available through the BHA for our members, that's it's exclusive, right? There's exclusivity there. So that's part of the value add that we are always seeking to do, to give members value for the membership dues that they pay to the association. But it's also a part of giving back as well and prioritizing education.
Over the past 20 years, the program has tripled its scholarship intake. Funded entirely through donations from the BHA members, the program accepts applicants on both a merit and need basis.
So you have to be carrying a certain grade, of course. I would say that even though it's both, I would also say that the grade is actually more important. And yes, we would like to make sure that it's really going to folks that need the assistance. So that does play a hefty role in terms of the formula and what is weighted versus what is not as intensely weighted when we're making the decision.
The grant is available to both secondary and tertiary level students. 15-year-old Amy Garcia aspires to become a doctor and now steps into her third year at Pelote High School with the peace of mind to focus on her academic career.
My father told me to apply. Then I had to write an essay or summary about it, and it was really fun. It's a great opportunity for me and my family, as it just helps me be reassured that my tuition will be paid, and I just feel very happy, and it gives me motivation to do good in my studies.
Amy's father, Luis Garcia, shared his gratitude for the program and pride at his daughter's accomplishment.
Of course, I'm very happy. I'm very grateful for her, right, because she's doing great. I'm really happy for her, yes. She is very dedicated. She's very dedicated to her studies.
Does that make you a proud father?
Yes, because she's very disciplined. I love that of her.
BHA keeps the scholarship fund separate and finances it entirely through member donations and annual auctions. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Jamie Rock. Thanks for joining us. Have a safe weekend. And from all of us here at News 5, thanks.